Hi, everybody. Justin McElroy, editor-at-large for Polygon.com here. I'm joined by my brother, Griffin McElroy.
Hey.
He also works at Polygon. And we're also joined by Alan Merlisto, who's the global brand director.
That's very discreet. Nobody can tell that you're
Nobody
reading
can
his
tell
title.
that I'm reading your title from the...
His title is producer, which is not that hard to memorize.
Producer on Overkill's The Walking Dead. Alan, thanks you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
So I'm curious that there hasn't been a lot revealed about this game up to this point, and one of the first sort of looks that some of the press and people attending E3 are getting at it is through this VR demo of your all's headset that you just announced. Why did you feel like that was the right avenue to sort of like make The Walking Dead more public?
I think because for us, VR is the future of gaming. For me personally, I've tried a couple of different VR headsets, and I personally love, for example, the Vive that Valve and the guys are doing. I think that one is awesome. And the reason we're doing our own headset and having working on a game like Overkill's The Walking Dead, it's just too good of an opportunity not to show the world how amateur VR experience can look like. Because if you've ever read the Walking Dead comic books, or ever seen the TV show, you know that the Walking Dead it can be a bit too much, that sometimes it's very scary. It's very it's extremely well at positioning itself at the forefront of the horror genre, in my opinion. So what we're doing, I think as well, that is important to clear up, is that there's two different things. You have Overkill's The Walking Dead, that is the PS4, Xbox One, Steam for PC experience, the game. And then you also have the VR experience that we're demoing here at the show now, right? So those are two different games that are apart. The reason why we did it like that is because these guys who play these kind of games necessarily don't want to try out VR, or they don't want to do, co-op in VR, because how would that work? That's probably a few years out the door before that's a thing to talk about, right? So that's important for us to be really clear on. We basically felt that we wanted to make an awesome demo for E3 for people to try out our virtual reality headset, and what better than Overkill's The Walking Dead?
So what is the connective tissue between those two things? Obviously, they're two separate things, but is there some sort of thread connecting the demo and the VR demo and the final product?
Yeah, definitely. Internally, we're talking a lot about this being a prequel story in a sense, but what there are really is that they're both based in the same universe. Overkill's The Walking Dead is made together with the guys at Skybound and Robert Kirkman, who wrote the actual comics, and who also executively produced the TV shows, right? So they're based in the comic book universe. So both of these experiences are part of the same universe. Characters you might meet in the demo might pop up in the other game, and so on and so forth.
So what can you tell me about the PS4, Xbox One, Steam for PC, that game? What can you tell me about that? Because I feel like there hasn't been a lot of information out there. How can you pitch it to me?
Yeah, I think there not being a lot of information out there is intentional.
I figured as much, or else you guys are just doing a terrible job.
Yeah, I think we love hype, right? We love being we're gamers ourselves. We love. I think there's a craze in the video games industry right now with having going as early access as possible, showcasing your whole game when it's not done yet. And we're not like that, We're gamers who enjoy how games were sold to us back when, when you suddenly got an announcement at E3 and you were like, holy shit, what's going on? I've never heard about this before, rather than it being teased, 4 months before E3, and then you see that E3 and you're like, yeah, I knew that was coming, So that's why we're holding on, talking that much about the PS4, Xbox One, and PC version, and just showing this virtual, or we're showing a virtual reality version of it instead. But yeah, there's not that much new that I can share, other than what we've said previously, that it's a co-op game. It's going to build on what we've learned from Payday 2 and the Payday games that we've done in the past. You guys know that Starbreeze have been making first-person shooters for a long time, so we're pretty good at that stuff. So, and the universe is perfect for us to explore the horror genre, the survival horror that's out there for us to really explore and really get into the nitty-gritty of how is it for a team of, for example, 4 survivors, so trying to survive in the post-apocalyptic world of the walkers taking over.
What are the tenets, I guess, of The Walking Dead that you guys are trying to really focus on? Because I feel like there's a bit of baggage now for Walking Dead games, because now we've seen Telltale do this series of adventure games that are all very relationship focused, and then there was the Activision shooter that was more, killing zombies.
It was more bad focused.
It was more killing zombies
more focused
focused
on being very bad and hurting me for playing it.
So, like, I guess between that dynamic of it being more based on the human element and more of it based on the action element,
survival, horror elements. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you guys trying to focus more on?
Yeah, you guys have that's a great question, because this is something that we're in production right now of the game. This is something that we're talking about all the time. What kind of game is it we're trying to make here, really? And personally, I think what we're trying to aim at is the same kind of feeling that you got in Payday 2 when you were getting out with the bag, around your back of money, right? You see your pal just behind you. He just got downed. You can either choose to go to freedom, bring the money you got with you and leave your friend behind, or you can throw the bag away, get your friend, and run the risk of being, arrested by the police or just being shot down. And that kind of same situation can appear in The Walking Dead, right? And the cool thing about that, The Walking Dead as a universe, as a story, is that sure, you have all these walkers around you, but the real enemies many times are the humans around you. The real situations that you get are the ones that you experience with the players among you. And there hasn't been a really good game set in this kind of setting. You have a lot of other games out there that are focused on the competitive aspects of it. Like, 50 people are dropped into a city and they're supposed to survive and shoot each other, and there are zombies walking about. But you haven't had a game that is story-driven with characters, where you and your friends are trying to survive in the setting in Washington, D.C. that's overrun by walkers, trying to, find ammunition, trying to avoid other people, and so on and so forth.
There was a new trailer that was, I guess it was on the YouTube stream last night, that featured a lot of full motion video, like actual, filmed video. Is that something we're going to see more of in the game? Because I would find that personally very exciting.
Justin is the biggest full motion video game fan in the universe, so he's being actually very reserved right now. I'm proud of
Thank you, Griffin. I appreciate it.
I'm happy you say that, man, because we're big fans as well. That's why we've done that for Payday 2 in the past.
Right.
We have Giancarlo Esposito playing the part of the dentist. Gus Fring in Breaking Bad, right? So he plays the part of the dentist in Payday 2, being a contractor, giving you guys jobs and so on when you're playing the game. We got some more people lined up in the future for Payday, but what we're doing here with The Walking Dead is we're testing the people around us, right? We're seeing if everyone would react as you would, we definitely continue doing it.
They all did. They all did. I talked to them all, and they were all really into it.
Yeah, that's why full motion video games are so huge right now. Everyone's really hungry for it.
But their time has come. Their time is back.
I think we did it first and foremost for the VR demo, because that's what that trailer was for. We did it just as an homage to the Payday stuff we've done before, and it was really how can you say no to shooting a scene with walkers eating someone's neck,
right,
as a live action. That's just a beautiful thing to be a part of, right?
One last question before we let you go. The game is set in Washington, D.C., which is currently on the television show, the plot line on the television show, their sort of destination, where they're heading. Obviously, the television show is this gargantuan media property. That seems to imply that there's some crossover between the TV show and the game that you guys are making. Is that the direction you're taking it in?
No, it's not. The reason we're pushing, or the reason why the setting is Washington, D.C. is because that's the setting of the comic books as well. And I'm happy to see that they're, of course, it's always awesome when the TV show follows the storyline of the original, the work. But the reason we haven't officially gone out with the reason why it's set in Washington, other than that's the setting we want to be. We haven't said, if it's at that time of the breakout happening, or if it's earlier, how early into the series, if you will, that we are. But the reason is because obviously in both the TV show and the comics, a lot of stuff's happening in Washington, D.C. It seems to be the place to be for a some action, some stuff to happen. So
You-
that's why we're putting it there.
You, my friend, are a master of question avoidance, and I want to give you your props for that. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. We got a lot more stuff on Polygon.com. Go check that
Thanks,
out.